They were number one on the radio for 5 years in a row.
I've listened to Tiny and Katy since way back.
Now, they're the number one podcast at WAYZ.com.
I love the Tiny and Katy Show.
It's the Tiny and Katy Show.
Hey, I'm Tiny.
It's so nice to see you again. It's Katy.
Oh, Katy, be quiet.
Not you,
don't-
not you. Everybody else, not you.
Okay, well, I'm the only one you can see.
I know, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to everybody else. I mean, it's okay to see you again, but everybody else,
Yeah.
hello. It's good to see you again.
So we are recording this on Friday, and is it just me, Katy? But it feels like I haven't talked to you in weeks.
I was just thinking that the other day as well. Somebody asked me, what's going on with Tiny, and I said, I haven't talked to him in like 4 days, and I feel like I don't know what's going on in his life. So yes, I do agree with that because we check in so regularly.
Yeah.
So when we don't, but that's a beautiful thing about our relationship is we can always just pick up where we left off. I have a couple of friends like that. We might go, months without talking,
Right.
and then as soon as we call each other, we just pick up right where we left off. And those are really good friendships to have.
Those are the ones that Katy badmouths me like, yeah, I talked to so-and-so, and I haven't talked to that jerk in 5 months.
Yeah, that
And then
never
when-
happens.
And then when she talks to him, it's like, oh, how are you? Oh, it's like we just never know time apart at all. Lord knows what she says about me.
You don't want to know what I say about you.
Well, I probably do know what you say about me. It probably would not
actually,
surprise me at all.
You probably know every single word that I would say about you.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Hey, to start us off, I have a joke for you.
Okay.
What did this sneaker say when it sneezed?
Oh, I love to try to get these just to piss you off.
No, don't piss me off.
Well, at least give me 10 seconds.
No. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoo!
I was thinking something like with a tongue or something. I don't know.
Shoo!
Wow.
that one legit made me laugh out loud. So welcome to the Tiny Katy Show. It's nice to have you back with us again this week.
Yeah, all powered by Roots Hair Design, Route 11 in Marion. Katy, big exciting things happening as we speak right now. We literally, just so everyone knows, we had to work this podcast in recording this because we have both. Katy is now back to work, and I have had probably the busiest week at work I can possibly tell you. It's always busy when we're ramping up toward what we call ratings period, which is in the fall and spring. So obviously one is coming up here soon. But add to it the fact that we are taking vacations. So as we're talking here on Friday evening, at 4:30 tomorrow morning, we are rolling out, heading down the road. So,
Are you going to Ocean City?
Yeah, and I've realized, and I don't know how you are with this. You travel a hell of a lot more than I do, but I am horrendous at sticking to a plan of packing. So
Okay.
here's how it works. We have a really nice minivan. I love it. It gives us a lot of space, although you never have enough. And if you have space, you will fill it up. But nonetheless, we have this grand plan of we have to leave early in the morning. We're going to pack the night before. Inevitably, we never pack the night before.
So that would be now.
Correct.
That would
now
be
by
now.
pack,
Okay.
I mean, I shouldn't say pack. I mean load. We have this plan to load the van the night before. That way, maybe aside from like toothbrush and a couple of toiletries or whatever, and ourselves, it is just jump in and we can go. We don't do it. We say we're going to, and we never do. And it is so frustrating for me because I'm as guilty a party in this as Mary is. So it's not just me, and certainly, obviously, the baby has nothing to do with it.
So why don't you guys just get it done? Just do it. I don't think I understand what the problem is.
I don't either. I wish I knew what it was. It's just a matter of, to me, it's such a daunting task because I'm going to be the one, and I don't mind this. I do the driving, and I also insist that I'm the one who loads the van because, I mean, I hate to say this, I'm a man.
Way of doing. Yeah,
I'm a man, for God's sake.
I get it.
And Mary's good at packing. I'm good at loading, and it's just. I would just rather say, you know what? Oh, it'll only take me 20 minutes in the morning to do it. And yeah, 2 hours later in the morning, we're just then getting on the road.
I mean no disrespect by what I'm about to say, but packing for the beach, I feel like is kind of an easier task. Like, you need shorts, you need a bathing suit, you need like the typical beach wear, but it's hard for me when I pack if I'm like traveling You know, when I went to Spain and Morocco back in April, I was like, what the hell am I going to wear in April?
Yeah, how do you know what to
in
pack?
Spain? How do I know? Yeah, like I look at the weather, but even though it says 72 or whatever, sometimes 70 can be a chilly 70. Sometimes it can be a warm 70. And I have a tendency whenever I pack, because I'm always big on itineraries. I always know exactly what's going on. I have an itinerary. All my documents are printed and ready to go in a nice folder. But when it comes to packing, I just throw whatever I can find it into a bag, and I end up wearing the same 3 things the whole time anyway. It doesn't even matter.
Right.
Or I'll buy something when I'm there. So packing does suck, but all you have to make sure you have the essentials. Do you have your underwear? Do you have your socks? Do you have, for ladies, the bras, you know, some clothes to sleep in, a couple going out, clothes, call it a day. But it does seem like you never have enough. You've never packed enough.
Right.
And then you just end up packing way too much, and you can't bring anything back with you because you have no room in your suitcase. So I do understand that. Plus, you're not flying, so you can put as much as you want in your car. So
Right.
well,
I've found I'll take a few different. I've really, you ought to see how I pack. I mean, I'm very, very scaled down from how I used to, because, you know, you do carry those things over from, I think moms are so guilty of overpacking. Mary's guilty of overpacking for herself and especially for the baby. But, you know, as I've grown older and older, I'm like, you know, I need less and less. And I will still take about 3 or 4 shirts for an entire week. And I swear to you, I will, because where we go, we have a washing machine.
You'll just wear the same one or two. Yeah.
Same one every single day.
Yeah, of
Doesn't
course.
matter.
Of course.
I have one that I run in and work out in, and then one that I wear, and then typically the one that I wear when I come in of the evening, I just wear it to bed.
Yeah, I understand. Well, good luck with your packing. I hope it all works out. I mean, #, first world problems right now. I don't have enough time to pack for my vacation.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have enough time to pack for my vacation.
There's never enough time. So, and speaking of vacation, so here we are, the dog days of summer, and can you believe the weather we're having?
So
this is incredible.
I'm pumped about it because first of all, I'm going to let everybody in on a secret. I have hyperhidrosis, and hyperhidrosis is extreme sweating under the underarms. And Tiny, you can attest to this. Like I sweat horribly under my arms.
Here's what we
all
used
the
to do.
time.
When Katy would start sweating, she would go, Tiny, like this, and I wish we had a pic. One day we'll have to take a picture of it. But she would go,
I can do it now if you want.
like this. Do you have it? Are you underarm sweating right now?
Of course I am.
Well, then let's see it.
Oh, actually, no, I'm doing okay.
Not too bad. So anyway, just imagine her gray shirt would have a pit stain, as we've all had before, but hers was just like daily at 5:30 a.m. So she would go, "Oh, Tiny, look," and
Tiny would say what country it would equate to with how big it was.
Yeah, a country or a state. I'm like, "Oh my God, Katy, is that Uzbekistan?" What?
Yes. If it was
really
small,
look, Maine.
Yes. If it was really small, he'd say, you're Delaware. Or if it was really big, he'd be like, whoa, Texas in the house.
Yeah. Texas coming in hot.
He used to always equate how bad I was sweating, like with states and countries. I thought that was
this just dawned on me. How did I never, knowing how I am and knowing how you love puns, how did I never say Pittsburgh?
Oh, I don't know. But you know what I did this morning, which will bring back some serious memories for you? Just to bring you up to speed on my life, I am back in education. Remember how I left for a little bit? Okay, well, no.
Yeah, but you never really did leave when you think about it.
I made an announcement that I was leaving and I was going to do something else that didn't work out. So here I am back.
Okay, let's put it this way. Katy has summer off. So during that time, she had severed ties and did not re-sign a contract. So she was going to leave.
Correct.
And then here she is back in.
And now I am. But I am back in, like I'm way closer to home. And I'm back working with my best friend, Julie. But now I work for a school that they wear gray shirts, like their spirit wear is all gray. And gray, whenever I see a gray shirt, I just start to have anxiety because I know I'm going to sweat horribly in it. I always wear a sweater over top because I have hyperhidrosis. Like me and gray, even in the dead of winter, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be sweating like crazy. And the kids notice it, and it's embarrassing. So I always wear a sweater and my kids are like, Miss Dickinson, it's 100 degrees outside. Why are you wearing a sweater? And I just yell at them and I said, you know what? Is that your business? Is that your business? No. So then don't worry about it.
Excuse me. I'm going through a change of life here. So I need my sweater.
I'm back working with my dear friend Julie, and I walk into her classroom this morning and she has this little fan that charges into her computer. And I said, I'm going to let you guess the answer here. I said, Julie, can you plug that fan in? She plugs it in. It starts turning on. What do you think I did with that fan?
Started singing into it.
No, I'm sweating.
Well, then just put your pits up
Yes.
to it.
So I take the fan and I put it right here underneath my arm for it to dry out. And then I do the other one. And then I go into
Did it
my
work?
classroom. It did, actually. Yeah, it did.
Wow.
But remember how I used to do that all the time at the radio station?
I remember. So the reason that when Katy asked, guess what I did with the fan, was say sing into it, is there's a funny story of one of the first days that me and Katy were on the air together. Our studio was right next to she was at what I guess you would call it a human resources
like
type
a
person.
secretarial area where they answer the phones and people come in
exactly.
and they get checked in.
Well, the woman whose office was next door's name is Sally, and Sally was, and she freely admits this. We've told her this before, but
scary.
What Katy didn't know is that Sally did not like her, could not stand Katy. The reason is because Sally never liked the new person. She just had to warm up to you. Well, Katy did no favors for herself to endear herself to Sally. So this one day, Katy is taking the fan and holding it up to her face.
By the way, who hasn't done this before?
Right, exactly. Yeah. When we're like 6 or 7, we've all done this. But so Katy starts singing. I don't know what the song was, but some powerful,
it was a
country ballad. Yeah. So she's like, Jesus, take the wheel. And she's doing it. And I mean, she's just letting her rip, right? So my back is to the studio door. And I'm looking straight at Katy, and I'm like, Lord, help me, Jesus. Just help me, Lord.
They can all hear
my
it
God.
out there.
Next thing you know, Katy does this. She goes, take the wheel. And she sets it down.
Sally is standing in the doorway with the door open, not saying a word, just standing.
Didn't say a word.
And I mean, I'm terrified. I'm terrified at this moment.
Well, Katy didn't know that anyone was here yet, because obviously we were there, early in the morning, and it's probably like 7:30 or so. So I wouldn't have thought anybody would. That's why I wouldn't even look behind me. And when Katy did what she did and looked, I turned around and there's Sally, and she's going. So then
and basically no words needed. Like just stop talking, stop singing.
But Sally did have words. So
later on, she did.
The door closes. And Sally leaves. A few minutes later now, the office is filled up, and I hear Sally. We've now moved on. It's probably 10, 15 minutes later. But I hear Sally, and I'm gonna clean up the language here. But
no, I don't think you should. I don't think you should. This is what she said. This is what she said.
No, I'm not going to say. We're not saying that word on the podcast. It's not going to happen. But she goes, she was singing into a goddamn fan. Now, of course, it was not dang. And you can figure that out. But anyway, and I just bust out laughing. And I'm like, Katy, you're not going to believe this. Like, Sally just said she's singing into a GD fan out here.
And she's out there like yelling about it.
Oh, yeah.
Can you believe what this girl was doing in the studio when I walked in there at 7:30? So every time, we just saw Sally recently. I haven't seen her for a couple years when we went to Tori's memorial service. Sally was there, and that was the first thing she's like, well, you singing into any fans these days? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Kind of learned my lesson on that one, but
oh my God. Yeah, then they hired somebody, and Katy, climbed up the food chain on Sally's.
And then I was liked, and I was adored after that.
Yeah. So Katy, by the way, and I'm going to keep my promise that I made on last week's episode, where we are going to play audio from way back when. I have one of those ready to go. And something happened to me over last weekend that has never happened to me before, and I was disgusted. I was concerned.
Okay.
Mary was freaking out.
Oh boy! Is this having to do with the child or something else?
No, having to do with me. It was. Okay. It could have potentially been a health scare. All of this wrapped up into one gross thing that. I can't wait to tell you, actually. So it's coming up in just a couple minutes on the Tiny and Katy Show, all powered by Roots Hair Design, Route 11 in Marion.
You don't want your hair just cut or styled. Get your hair designed at Roots Hair Design, 5459 Molly Pitcher Highway in Chambersburg, 717-375-2130. How about a women's cut? $32, $35, or $38? Guys, you're not going to get a better price on the cut you're going to receive at Roots Hair Design than $23. Now, if you have a teenager, girl or boy, 25 and $20 respectively. A kid's cut, just $18. Maybe you need your roots touched up. They have that as well. And they can do your nails, take care of your lashes, facial treatments, waxings, and what I plan to get is a massage. Roots Hair Design, 5459 Molly Pitcher Highway in Chambersburg. $10 off your first service to any new guests, and they're approaching their 12th year in business. You don't last that long if you're not doing something, or in their case, a lot of things right. Roots Hair Design, we can't thank them enough for being part of the Tiny and Katy Show.
More of the Tiny and Katy Show starts now.
Katy, I say we get right into it. I have this audio from the original Tiny and Katy Show when we were on the air together. I'm going to play it for you. Now, this one, again, as many of them have been and will be, is just a glimpse at what my life was like.
Oh, boy.
On the air with Katy.
I
so
love
Katy,
these. Okay. I'm ready.
Here it
I'm
is.
so ready.
And this one, I believe, is from almost exactly 10 years ago, back in 2012. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm so ready.
If you missed the Tiny and Katy Show, you missed a lot.
There is a name that you're going to hear that is spelled I-F-O-R. We both agreed that we'd say E4. So she's like, E4? I said, yeah, E4. She goes, are we doing playing bingo?
I guess there is no E in bingo.
Well, you guess there's no E. There is no E in bingo.
It's Tiny and Katy.
So again,
Mornings on 104.
this is exactly what I dealt with when we worked on the air every single morning.
First of all,
she would go
that's
ahead.
one of those breaks. I'm sorry, but that's one of those breaks. I can just hear from the tone that we did it like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like we both sound so dead ass tired.
Oh, yeah.
And so wait, did you say E4? And I said, oh, it's like bingo?
Yes. Yeah. Like E4 bingo.
Bingo.
You know, and the funny part is, and I wish I could. Some of these I remember so clearly, and some of them are just a fog. I'm pretty sure with this one, when I said it, I thought she's going to say like bingo.
Yeah, E4. Yeah, that does.
And then
that's
you lay it out.
That's very much a Katy moment. But the thing is, like, these things just happen so authentically on the air that, I mean, I'm not an idiot. Like, I'm actually mildly intelligent. I have a master's degree and everything. But, like, yeah, you're right. As soon as I would hear E4, I would think, like, bingo. Wait a second. bingo. E is not the game that I've been playing these days.
It's E-I-N-G-O. E-I-N-G-O. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me they haven't been saying E all these years? It's not Yingo?
All these times I've gotten bingo, and I'm just a big liar about it.
Yeah. All these times I've been playing bingo, and I wonder why my E's were never called.
Why do I never have a B on my board? It's always E. Why is it always B? Oh my God.
Katy, you have bingo like eight times on this card here, right?
But I didn't get the B
look at my E's. There's no E. How can I have bingo 8 times and I don't have one freaking E? Not one.
What an idiot! Oh my gosh, what an idiot! Oh,
all right, Katy. So I want to wrap up this week's podcast with telling you something that happened to me over the weekend. I have no idea how it happened. I mean, I know how it happened, but anyway. So I got to give a little bit of a backstory for this. About 10 years ago, if you remember, I had. Excuse me. What's up?
Can you please circle the dance floor here, or not circle the dance floor here? Yeah,
you want me to grab your just want me to grab your ass, right?
Grab my ass, please. Don't circle the dance floor. Yeah, okay.
Gotcha. Okay. So 10 years ago, I had surgery on my stomach. It left that area, as far as skin goes, very thin. So what used to happen when I weighed a lot more is like my belt would rub, and it would basically make it come open like an open sore. So now that I've lost the weight, it doesn't happen anymore. So I'm laying down the other day in the kids' playroom, and as I was laying on my back, my shirt came up a little bit, and Mary goes, "Hun, is your scar open again?" And I'm like,
boy.
"Oh God, no, please." Now, mind you, the reason I wouldn't know that is because the feeling down there is just not the feeling at the scar is
Gotcha.
is not as good as it used to be. So I feel down there, and it feels like a polyp is the best I can describe it. Like a really big blister has broken off. And when I go to grab it, I pull it, and it just comes out easily.
Like
and
the
at first
skin comes out.
Yeah,
like the skin comes off.
It came off. Like it was like it was hanging. Like just imagine. I'm trying to think of something like it's a pea size is what it was. It was a pea size, thick, chunky piece of skin.
Ew.
And it didn't hurt when I pulled it off. And I thought I should have felt that because this should not have happened. So I'm looking at it, and here it is. This and if you have even like the weakest stomach, you may want to just earmuffs right now. It was gray and greenish gray, and I thought, oh my God, it's rotted. This skin has been hanging here for so long that it's now just. That's why it came off so easily. It took me but a second, Katie, to realize it was a tick.
Oh wow!
Massively engorged.
So it had like
tick.
Sucked all the blood.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
The moment I realized this, I'm like, oh my God, it's a tick. And just, it's not that I'm afraid of them. It's just like, I had never seen, one had never been attached to me. I've had them crawling up my leg, up my arm, and I can just get them and, flush them, burn them, whatever.
Yeah, right. I've never had one that was like engorged or anything like that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I mean, I've pulled them out of the dog, but not me. One's never gotten its head in me.
Wow.
So right away, I'm like, okay, nobody move. I got to find this thing. Wouldn't you know it? It's kind of blending in with the carpet. So I'm like, okay, where is this damn thing? I pick it up I get a tissue, pick it up. Should have taken a picture of it. Didn't. Should have put it in a baggie. Didn't. I went to the bathroom and I flushed that son of a bitch quicker than because ticks offend me.
Well, they really tick me off is what they do. They
Right?
bug me. They bug me.
They're
Straight
just
up.
they're just like a parasite, and it's not just like one site. You get a pair. It's a parasite. Okay. And it really, it makes my blood boil. Okay. Because they just suck so bad.
All right. You win. Okay.
So what happened was, and Mary is the consummate worrier. I love her so much, but she worries herself sick over anything health related. And she's not a hypochondriac, but she's like, if you have a fever, it's,
she's
oh
a
my
mom.
God.
Yeah, she's a mom.
Yeah. Oh, it was even, Katie, it was even before that. It's the mom thing just made it even worse. Yeah. So I took this thing, I flushed it down the toilet. I text my mom, who works for my primary care physician. I text Courtney from Elevation Healthcare, both of which said, did you take a picture? Well, no, I flushed it down the toilet.
Take a picture of what? Why would you take a picture of the tick?
To be able to identify it. Because
are there multiple types of ticks?
Oh, yeah. So the ones that you really have to worry about are the deer ticks, because they carry the Lyme's disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, all that kind of stuff. Well, it turns out I just searched online and I found a picture that looks almost identical to the tick that was on me. You want to see it? Actually, I'm going to show it to you.
Sure.
This is exactly what was hanging on me. Again, not what was, but boy, if this isn't just a perfect thing of it.
That's always pretty scary. Like after you go hiking or do anything adventurous, it is always pretty scary to find them like on you. It's and then okay. Hang on, I can't see. Okay, so that one's like filled up, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So then, and it's just disgusting. So then, they all said, well, within 3 to 6 days, if you're going to have an adverse reaction, check the site where it was. If you get a bullseye or whatever, all these different things. So thankfully, none of that happened. But mind you, so the night that this happens, the night I find this, I'm sitting on the couch, and it's all I can do. First of all, everything feels like a tick now. Yeah, every little itch or whatever is a tick, and I'm like, oh, super sensitive to it. And then secondly, it's all I can do. I'm just Googling everything ticks. Just because I've never had one do this.
What is this is like medical 101. Whatever symptoms you're having, like, don't Google it online. Everybody knows that because it's just going to lead to death and something horrific.
Well, no, I wasn't having any symptoms. I was simply looking up like, well, what should I do? Is there something I should be looking for?
What can you? Oh, okay.
I didn't know. That's just it. It's not like COVID where everyone knows what to expect with this thing. I had no idea. So I'm searching, and I had no idea how long that thing had been on me. I'm like, well, I would have had to have noticed that. I wash that area when I shower. It stands to reason if it came off that easily that it would have come off in the shower. So it's been on me for, I don't know, an hour maybe? Oh no, Katie, listen to this. With the size that it was, which you just saw on that picture, it says that it could have been on me for up to 96 hours. This thing was on me for 4 freaking days.
So what I'm kind of taking away from this story is that you are a terrible with your hygiene in the shower and you don't
Apparently.
respect your body. Yes.
I'm a hog.
Yes.
Yes.
You're a hog. Yes. So
I'm a
maybe just take
slovenly hog.
just take a little bit more time, make sure that you fully clean yourself, and
Yeah.
that's the way it is. You know, it's interesting because like when you do, I'll tell you what, I think the highest anxiety I've ever had is when I've had to pull a tick out of somebody, and it's always like, don't make sure you don't like snap it and leave the
Yeah.
head inside. I mean, what kind of anxiety does that give to a person where you're like, oh my God, if I pull this out and I leave the head inside, like, is that person going to die? Is it it my fault? Whatever. But I'll tell you one situation where I was a hero in something similar like this. I went to, I think it was Ocean City, New Jersey. This was
Oh
years
God,
ago.
you are not. If I swear to God, if you're going to tell me you peed on someone when they get stung by a jellyfish, because that's not true. It's not. It doesn't work.
So I went to Ocean City, New Jersey with my dear friend Kelly, and a bunch of girls went to celebrate. I think it was her birthday. We were probably like, I don't know, 19, 20. I don't even know if we were 21 yet.
Yeah.
And Kelly's out swimming in the ocean and she starts screaming. I mean, it's like blood curdling, like you can hear it. And she stands up and there's a man of war jellyfish wrapped around her belly. And we all see it. And I'm like, holy
Mother of God.
Mother of God. Like, I can see. She's like, is it bad? And I'm like, no, it's fine.
No.
There's this massive
Oh,
jellyfish.
where'd you get that cute little thing?
It's straight up wrapped around her body. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah, because so Katie's like, telling Kelly's like, oh, don't worry about it. Turns around and tells her friends, call 911.
I was like, Kelly, why don't you come in here? Why don't you
Yeah.
come in? So she comes out of the ocean. The jellyfish is not on her anymore, but she has, I mean, like gashes in her side. I mean, it looks like she got burnt down her side. Gashes.
I can't imagine.
And she just falls to the ground and she's like screaming. And I was like, here we go. I got you. Dropped my drawers, pissed all over her. Like, she said it made her feel better, but I didn't even like hesitate. I didn't even hesitate. It was just like, my friend's in pain. She's got these horrible, horrible scars. This is what I know I have to do to make her feel better. I mean, even if it perpetuated, I don't know. It's just everybody thinks that that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But that was the one situation where I was like, hello.
Yeah,
I'm a hero.
Katie's like, yep. And then they told me that drinking 12-pack a day wasn't going to be worth anything.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. Good thing.
Come on over here. Lay down there, baby.
Tiny, I didn't even hesitate. She just fell, and I was like, I don't even think I said anything. I just pulled my pants down and pissed all over her, and I was like, I got you. Don't you worry.
I mean, could you? You know, when someone gets when you don't see blood and something like that happens, I mean, your first inclination is when someone comes out and just passes out and they're hurt, you think, oh my God, they got bitten by a shark. But if you don't see blood, if you're just a bystander, you know, it's okay, they got stung by a jellyfish. It's pretty much, you know what happened. I couldn't imagine sitting on the beach and seeing this happen and look and be like, oh, that poor girl got stung by a jellyfish. Oh my God, it must be really bad. What the hell?
Who is this chick?
Babe? Is she pissing on that girl on the beach? The poor thing just got stung by a jellyfish and this girl's peeing on her. Look!
I'll tell you one thing that I'm so happy about is when I was in my 20s, TikTok was not a thing. Facebook was like just starting. Like, thank God, because I don't even want to know the videos about me that would be out there at this moment because we're good on that.
That's one that I would love to see. It's like I can imagine the TikTok.
When you think you're a hero and your friend pisses you off.
Pisses you off.
Yeah. Or pisses you on, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so hey, I'm off to vacation. I hope I don't get stung by a man of war or any jellyfish. And if I do,
I got you.
No.
That would really piss me off, man. I'll tell you what.
My.
That happens again, and you're in trouble. You won't be number 1 anymore. You're down to number 2.
I was trying to think of
later,
something
kids.
with like tentacle or.
How many tickles does it take to make a octopus laugh? Just humor me.
I don't know.
10 tickles.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, I tell you what, Katie, maybe, just maybe, we can do a quick Tiny on the Beach vacation check-in video with you.
Yes.
If we can somehow...
Nobody wants to see your like half-naked body, though, so just make sure you cover up.
You're right. No one's going to see my half-naked body. You're going to see 100%.
Oh, hello, kids. Here we go.
See, because
Looking forward to that.
Ocean City, Maryland is about to become ground zero for a naked beach, a nude beach with me on it. Okay.
And if you ever wanted a beach alone to yourself, Tiny, you have just discovered the way to make that happen.
Why do you think I'm going to do it?
That's right. That's right.
Clear a path, people.
I know how you don't like crowds.
That's right. Okay. We love you. We will talk to you in a week. It's the Tiny and Katy Show, powered by Roots Hair Design, Route 11 in Marion. Have a good one.